If you're fresh off the SOLIDWORKS boat and have discovered the new land of Fusion 360, you're probably here for a few reasons. You may have discovered Fusion 360 while searching for an answer to a modeling question, or you came across it on various blogs or CAD sites that were touting the power of Fusion 360. Maybe a coworker or a friend told you or asked you about Fusion 360 in passing. Or, and this is the big one, you're here because you want to stay on the cutting edge of CAD technology and you realize that you've somehow stumbled into the future with Fusion 360. There are many reasons why someone would consider leaving their comfy CAD system for the new kid on the block. All your friends are doing it, for cost, or just pure function. So I want to point out some of the growing pains that users are likely to go through when making the switch, so you can get right into modeling and skip the potential headache. With that in mind, I came up with 7 principles to make sure we get started on the right foot. Number 1, the cloud. Your data's on the cloud and you'll have to accept it, but you'll be happy you did. I often hear from people how they can never work with all their data in the cloud and how disruptive it is to their workflow. And I get it, I really do. But with the great power comes great responsibility. There are so many issues associated with local file storage, tracking file versions, storage size, copies, and so on. Working with your data in the cloud allows you the freedom to design and collaborate knowing your data is wherever you are without having to make those copies. Because your data is in the cloud, it is very easy to collaborate with other users from anywhere at any time. Not only that, you can leverage the cloud for computing as well. You can now process simulations, make high-quality renders, and more without eating up precious computing resources or time. You no longer have to sit there and watch a render complete because your system is rendered useless. 2. The complete package. It's not just CAD. Fusion 360 is the complete package. Parametric and freeform CAD, direct editing, animations, rendering, simulation, and CAM all wrapped up into one. You don't have to buy a third-party add-in to run CAM or decide between buying a new car or upgrading your simulation package. Number 3, service with a smile. In SOLIDWORKS, we have service packs. Well, in Fusion 360, what service packs? You never have to worry about someone sending you a new version of a SOLIDWORKS file that you can't open. Or if you accidentally save a file in a student version. With Fusion, everyone is on the same platform that updates automatically. That not only means that you get the latest and the greatest of everything, but problems that pop up, because we all know they do, get fixed right away. On top of that, the Fusion 360 guys toss in preview technology. Now that's not fully released, but you can try it out on your own. Now be sure that when something makes it into the full production release, it's solid. And yes, there is an offline mode, but honestly, how often do you work disconnected? If you lose connection while working, just keep working, save the file, and when your network is back up, the files update themselves automatically. It's that easy. Number 4, one file is all you need. Sketches, bodies, components, and assemblies are all in one design. This is probably the hardest thing for a SOLIDWORKS user to grasp. Think of it as a multi-body part file that can also be an assembly with motion, renders, simulation data, subdivided models, CAM toolpaths, and so on. That's crazy, right? Well, it works. Now you can have individual files and still link them into distributed designs. There are some reasons that you would do that. With those types of designs, you even have some really cool functionality that lets you choose a version you want to use and even break links to bring the entire model in. And get this, that's including all the sketches and all the features. You no longer have a dumb solid that you have to edit in context. Principle number 5, location, location, location. And here's one that throws everybody for a loop the first time. Your feature manager tree in SOLIDWORKS is essentially split into 2 different things. In SOLIDWORKS, that area handles properties, configurations, appearances, in addition to the features and sketches. In Fusion, the area on the left side of the screen is called the browser, and that contains information like sketches, origins, bodies and components, and analysis like section views and zebra stripes. The timeline is located at the bottom of the modeling area, and that captures a time-based history of sketches, features, movements, and so much more. Even better, this area can show you features that belong to only certain components during the edits, and that really helps simplify what you're looking at when you need to. And if you want to, you can actually turn off capture history, but we'll get to that a bit later. Principle number 6, degrees of freedom. Another difference that you'll need to get used to when you're coming from SOLIDWORKS is how you build assemblies in motion. If you think about mates in SOLIDWORKS, you really have to figure out which mates go together for certain types of parts. You have standard mates like concentric and parallel, then you have advanced ones like mechanical mates. Well, these combine several of the basic mates together, such as the hinge mate. In Fusion 360, you assemble components with a joint to describe the desired motion. You pick a joint based on its degrees of freedom. You give it a point that will align the components together, and even better, there's an as-built version of joints that makes use of the designed location of all the components, and this makes the selection process a lot easier. This will start to make sense once we work through some examples, but it's very logical once you break the thought process of having to apply 3 or 4 mates to put components together. Principle number 7, up to date. If you've ever been to SOLIDWORKS World, then you know the excitement on day 3 when you're finally given a preview of next year's release. Now this release is usually a bunch of features and upgrades, and on the surface they always seem so appealing. But in reality, they attempt to fix stuff that isn't working quite right and show off a handful of updates. Fusion 360's development team has done something unthinkable. There's a public roadmap where they tell you exactly what they're working on for months in advance. Updates happen regularly in the order of weeks instead of months, and this brings updates to functionality and fixes all the time. If that wasn't good enough, there's a community forum where they actually listen to users, and new features are suggested and voted on to make them a priority for development. So that means that you have more control over what you see in the program. A good example of this is the XYZ axis behind the view cube. This was requested and voted on by users, and it showed up in the software in the very next update. It's pretty cool, right?